All right, well, let's crack off. An additional thoughts for Operation Doomsday by MF Doom. I'm finally feeling a little better. I'm getting well. My son is now getting sick. And so the cycle of a loving family continues where we just spread it through the household. So you might hear a little bit of coughing from me, maybe some from him. And really, I'm kind of glad I'm a little late getting to this one just because I had an epiphany today about Doom, why I enjoy him so much, why he's my favorite rapper. And I'll touch on the album first, I guess, and then I'll kind of rant about Doom for a bit in a great way, right? I've heard 3 albums from him now. Doom remains my favorite artist from hip hop so far. And I think from what I've gathered, Mad Villainy, Food, and Doomsday are basically his kind of his top 3. Yeah, maybe there's some arguments we had, but I would definitely say these 3 are in top 5 when it comes to MF Doom. And he's got a decent amount of projects. I was just kind of looking at it now on Spotify. And what I love about Doom, especially Operation Doomsday, but he's always him. The albums are different, the songs are different. There's some great songs on Food and Villainy and in this one, and they're all great for their own individual reasons, but it's always sourced from him being what he is. With this album, I enjoy very much that it's like this kind of like early form, not quite as refined, still great, but you can tell this is a little early compared to some of the other albums. It's kind of got that lo-fi sound going on, underground feel going on. So it's this great ride. He's still, obviously, well, I shouldn't say still. I say still because it's the 3rd album I've heard, but really it's his first one. Doing these skits, using these samples to tell the story, create this persona, this metaphor of MF Doom, this metal face mask over the thing. It's great. So favorite tracks. What are my favorite tracks? I think my favorite track is going to be Question Mark. I love Question Mark. Dead Bet is great. Operation Greenbacks is great. Doomsday is great. Rhymes Like Dimes is amazing. Go With The Flow is great. Hey. Did I say hey? No. I think those are the standout tracks for me, in my opinion. But really, this album, you just put it on. Done. Don't need to touch it. No skips. Enjoy the ride all the way through. Sometimes if I want to just hear a couple of my favorite songs, I'll bounce around just to hear those songs. But in terms of an album experience from top to bottom, especially if you consider this a debut album, it's pretty fucking incredible, man. Incredible. So I'm glad I got to this one. But I was thinking about Doom and why, what is it about Doom that I enjoy so much? And I had this great, kind of cross-reference in my own mind of people often say that MF Doom is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, which is a great, great compliment, right? And I started thinking about some other, acts that I like, and one of my favorite bands is a band called Rush. They started out in the 70s, and they toured and made music for almost 40 years. And in Rush, their drummer, Neil Peart, who's also passed, they call him your favorite drummer's favorite drummer. And I realized today, what's kind of neat about Doom and some of these songs is if I was to make a top 10 of my all-time favorite hip-hop songs, I honestly don't know how many MF Doom songs would be in there. I really don't. I think as you go through hip-hop and you find some of these great, great songs, great, great albums, they kind of push out the other ones. Now, Mad Villainy, of course, is way up there in terms of albums. Food as well. This one you could probably argue for also. But when you distill things down into hit songs, hit singles, things like that, it's weird how sometimes in life you'll have these bands or these artists or whoever that you really, really like, and it's not because they make necessarily 1 or 2 amazing songs. It's just something about their body of work. And there's this really fun correlation for me between MF Doom, who's my favorite rapper, and Rush, who I'd say is probably my favorite classic rock group, and how their pursuit, both of them, has just been strictly for the love of music. The love of music. And with MF Doom, something that just exudes out of this man is how much he loves lyrics, how much he loves rhymes and rhyming structure, beats, having fun with it, taking it seriously, just everything about it. Telling a story through samples, everything about hip hop. The metaphor and the story that he's saying in terms of, you know, trying to come back and take hip hop back from what it was turning into, I assume, at that point in time. His own history in terms of his brother dying and then being a duo act and then him losing the record deal because of it and going off. I've heard different things. I don't know what all's true, but apparently being homeless for a while. Like, just everything about this man and what he's been through. And then for him to come back and take on this persona that's a metaphor, but also basically literal because he lived it. And to pursue hip hop in such a pure form, strictly out of love, and to do it so much so from that state that he literally wears a mask so that people don't know who he is. And all he cares about is lyrics and rhymes and putting great beats together. And it's just, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so hard to find in music these artists that come through strictly for the love of the art, you know? And I don't put that on people. I put that more on industry. I think the entertainment industry itself, that machine, that monster, is just really, really good at using tools of temptation to kind of, you know, pull people off of their initial love for whatever it is that they're pursuing. But that's a whole other video. That's a rant I've gone on 100 times before, for those of you who have seen my videos. So it was really fun for me today driving home, just by accident thinking about this term. You know, this is my favorite rapper. And then, oh yeah, people say MF Doom is your favorite rapper's favorite rapper for all these reasons. And then having this kind of cross-reference to rock and drumming and Neil Peart, who, I mean, if you guys don't know who Rush is, you don't know who Neil Peart is, he is regarded as, like, if you ever have a conversation with somebody who's into rock and they talk about drummers, he will be in the conversation for the best ever. Might not necessarily come out on top, but he will be in the conversation every time. There's no question. No one's going to talk about drumming without mentioning him and what he did. And it's kind of incredible to think about what he did and some other guys did kind of in the 70s and how that has spilled forward into specifically like progressive rock, progressive metal, stuff like that. And with Doom, you know, it's not like he was at the forefront of hip hop when it was emerging or anything like that, but what he has inserted in his own way, his own mark, and the fact that he was essentially underground, he was never big, never mainstream. There's some parallel there with Rush. I mean, Rush is pretty well known, but they weren't like massive name compared to like Pink Floyd or Zeppelin or something like that. And I just get very, very happy knowing this guy, he just loved hip hop. That's it. It's that simple. I'm gonna make great beats. I'm gonna put together great rhyming structures. I'm gonna have awesome lyrics. I'm gonna take it so seriously and do it so well while also being silly. And talking about what was it? I was just listening to it now, and I just caught the line just now. What is it? Retarded in real life? Rain Man on the mic. I mean, just shit like that. And that's what's so fun about listening to his music is he has all these lines, all these wordplays, all these rhyming schemes. And you can listen to an album 10 times, and on the 11th time, you're like, oh shit, I just heard that. I just heard him say, I didn't hear him say that before. I just caught that just now. It's fun. Good old Doom, man. Good old Doom. He's my favorite. There's going to be more coming for sure. I don't know which I'll do next. He's got a lot of, I think, what's it called? Born Like This is one of them. The Mouse and the Mask is another one. The Vlad Villain or something. Vaudeville Villain is another one. So definitely more Doom coming. He's my favorite. And I think he'll probably stay my favorite probably forever. He checks all the boxes. You know, he just checks all the boxes. He takes it seriously without taking himself seriously while also taking himself seriously, but it's a metaphor, but it's literal. It's just, it's incredible. It's perfect, kind of. Anyway, there you go. That's kind of my ramble about MF Doom. Yeah, there you go. And my voice is still, I can tell it's still messed up, but that's okay. Yeah, okay, I guess that's it. Yeah. My love for Doom continues. And I still have the sticker of his metal face on the back of my car. So if you're ever driving around and you see MF Doom sticker on the back of a car, whoa, that might be the bald-headed Bob. All right, y'all. Take care. We'll see ya.